Thank you, Senator. Senator Wambua Enokio.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to also add my voice in paying my tributes to a great man. Madam Speaker, it has been said, and I want to add my voice, that indeed the late President Emilio Stanley Mwai Kibaki had a checkered political career. I think he's going down in history as the longest serving member of parliament, having served, actually I'm being reminded by my leader here, Senator Wetangula, that is probably the longest serving member of parliament in the Commonwealth. Having served this country for 50 years as a member of parliament in Donholm and Othaya, having served...
there is a point of information, Senator Kio. Would you like to be informed by Senator Mbogo?
Madam Speaker, I will take the information.
Okay. Senator Mbogo Ochila Ayako.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to inform my colleague that I think he is the second to Sir Winston Churchill, who served for 51 years. That's the correct information in the Commonwealth.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I don't know whether to take that because my colleague is not very sure. He's saying perhaps he is second to Churchill. So unless we get the facts right, Madam Speaker, I will stick to eulogizing my fallen president as the longest serving member of parliament in the Commonwealth. Madam Speaker, it will be remembered that the late President Mwai Kibaki successfully served as the fourth Vice President of the Republic of Kenya. He had a successful career in the cabinet in several dockets, including finance, home affairs, and health, just to mention but a few. He was a founder member and leader of a Democratic Party, a man who rose to be the official leader of opposition in parliament and eventually became our president and served for 10 years. Madam Speaker, on my own behalf, on behalf of my family, on behalf of the people of Kitui County, on behalf of the people from the Lower Eastern region, and the wiper fraternity spread across the country, I convey our condolences to our fallen president and the family of Mzee Mwai Kibaki. We say we condole with you. Madam Speaker, I want to say a few things about President Mwai Kibaki. I did not have the opportunity to serve directly under him, as did Senators Wetangula, Senator Ochilo, Senator Pogisio and Orengo, and the rest of the senators that served under Kibaki. But, Madam Speaker, I am a direct beneficiary of the benefits of the good leadership of our fallen president. When I served in media, the Speaker for 16 years, from the year 2000 to the year 2016, within which time the fallen president served as president for 10 of those years. The Speaker, we enjoyed real press freedom. It is during Kibaki's tenure that the media space in this country was expanded and journalists had opportunity to report on everything under the sun. In fact, it was under President Kibaki's leadership that we as media people boldly reported about the hills in government without looking over our shoulders. We took on cabinet ministers without looking over our shoulders, without being harassed. And we served under a president who believed and lived the principles of journalism that believe that a free media is a nation talking to itself. So under President Kibaki, the media enjoyed great freedom. Madam Speaker, it was under the leadership of President Kibaki that we got the Constitution of 2010. And, Madam Speaker, it shall be remembered that this Constitution has been applauded across the world as the most progressive Constitution of this side of the world. In the legislature, under the 2010 Constitution, we in this Senate are creatures of that Constitution. In the judiciary, we have the Supreme Court. And in the executive, we created the office of the Deputy President. Those are the highlights of the Constitution 2010, not forgetting devolution and all the good things, the Bill of Rights, all the good things that are to be found in our supreme law. And I want to say President Kibaki played a lead role to ensure that Kenyans gave themselves this wonderful constitution. Madam Speaker, the development record of the former president, our fallen hero, speaks for itself. The road network and this piece of road from Nairobi to Thika, the Thika Superhighway, has been mentioned in many places outside this country as a piece of really, really good work. Madam Speaker, we will not forget to mention the free primary education. And, you know, Madam Speaker, I draw a parallel without saying any bad things about anyone. I draw a parallel between the achievements of free primary education under President Kibaki and what is obtaining currently. You know, because President Kibaki inspired hope among people. When the doors were open for free primary education, people willfully took their children to school. Adults left their farms and trooped back to school. We all remember the images that we got from Olympics Primary School, where children from all over Nairobi just went to school. Madam Speaker, last year, I remember there was a government edict that chiefs and assistant chiefs are supposed to walk in homes to drive away children to go to school. Madam Speaker, if there is goodwill and if people see hope in what they're being offered, there will be no need to use government mandarins to force people to go to school. And the question that a lot of parents are asking themselves today. Because, Madam Speaker, we have been elected to speak for and on behalf of the people that brought us to this house. A lot of the questions that parents are asking themselves is whether this free primary education is really free. There is still so much money that parents are supposed to pay for their children to access school. Yesterday, Madam Speaker, I received a call from a voter in Kitui, an anonymous call. And the caller was complaining, almost going to tears, that they had been given contracts to construct these so-called CBC classrooms. They have constructed the classrooms. The details in regard to the contracts have been filled and submitted to Jogoo House. But when they come for payments, they are being taken round in circles. They are not being paid. And in fact, in his own words, people at Jogoo House are indirectly asking for bribes to pay the contractors who have been asked to build these classrooms. Madam Speaker, in the days of President Kibaki, such things would not happen. And I want to challenge the government of the day as we eulogize President Kibaki, to call upon the Minister of Education to make sure that if money was set aside for people to get contracts to build CBC classrooms in our institutions, it's only fair you pay these people. There should be no conditions at all. Just pay these people their money because they have done the work. Madam Speaker, there is a sector that must forever be grateful to the late President Emilio Stanley Mwai Kibaki, the border sector. Madam Speaker, it is in the time of the leadership of President Mwai Kibaki that this sector started to grow its roots in this country. Today, Madam Speaker, it is probably the only sector that is growing. And because Kibaki planted the seed, I would ask the current and future governments to do what is right for these young people in the border sector. This is a sector that has grown to a level that we a standalone legislation and regulation for it to operate as a sector in this country. So, Madam Speaker, I want to challenge the government of the day and future governments to look into ways and means of making the border sector a sector of our economy as an employer, as a contributor to the GDP, and as a means of just getting our young people employment. Madam Speaker, I'm hearing Senator Wetangula saying we shall do it. I don't know what he means by we, but I guess you can explain that better. The last thing, Madam Speaker, on the issue of President Mwai Kibaki. Debt. And this had been said by almost every speaker. Madam Speaker, by the time President Kibaki was leaving office, the economy was doing extremely well. The price of basic commodities was fairly affordable. Cement was going for between 450 to 500 shillings. Today, a packet of cement, I was in Turkana the other day, they're buying a packet of cement at 1,200 shillings. Wheat flour and maize flour, by the time Kibaki was leaving office, fairly affordable. 50 shillings, at most 60 shillings. Today, 150 shillings. The cost of fuel, Madam Speaker, and this is the cost of fuel even when it is available, because it's not even readily available. It's become completely unaffordable. Madam Speaker, how much time do I have? Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. You know, by the time President Kibaki was leaving office, Madam Speaker, I think our debt was around 1.2, 1.3 trillion. Today, less than 10 years, we are at over 10 trillion Kenya shillings. It's incumbent upon this government and future governments to cushion Kenyans against the high cost of living. Madam Speaker, on the fight against corruption, Kibaki, the president, walked the talk. And I want to mention this, Madam Speaker, very respectively. My colleague here, the senator from Bungoma, some people brought allegations against him that he had been involved in the sale of an embassy in Japan. And the president said, let him step aside. You carry out your investigations. If he is found to have been involved, let him go to court and he will lose office. If he is cleared by the investigations, we will return him to office the following day. After investigations and our colleagues was found to be as white as snow, when he got the report, Senator Moses Masika Wetangula was recalled to office. That is President Kibaki for you. A man who, when it comes to public service, there are no friends or enemies. It's the law that must take its course. Today, Madam Speaker, we have a lot of people of questionable character, people who have looted public resources, but they are still in government, serving at the pleasure of the president. Madam Speaker, a time has come that maybe we should emulate Mzee Kibaki and do the right thing for this country. Lastly, Madam Speaker, and if I run out of time, Madam Speaker, I'll ask for a minute, because Senator Ochilo Ayako and Senator James Orengo made reference to my party leader, His Excellency Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, in relation to the leadership of this country. Madam Speaker, I want to make it very clear, on my own behalf and on behalf of the Wiper fraternity, that we are not offering any bride for any marriage. Madam Speaker, whether consensual, arranged, or forced, there is no one who is offering any bride for any marriage. I've listened to the words of Senator Wetangula with more than passing interest. He says they have opened doors. We have heard that before. Madam Speaker, what I want to make very, very clear for this country to hear and to know is that Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka has served this country with distinction. If there is one man that we have to pay accolades to and respect and treat with the dignity that is due to him, that person is Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. When he was Kibaki's vice president, he supported the government of the day with everything that he had. He made it possible for his boss to deliver services to this country. When there was chaos in neighboring countries, he took responsibility and a duty of care to help form and stabilize governments in the DRC, in South Sudan, in Somalia. Madam Speaker, if I were my leader, Senator Orengo, or my senior colleague, Senator Ochilo, I would perhaps address Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka differently. Madam Speaker, I submit.